All right, so today we're doing 4.4 day 2, solving algebraic inequalities, and today we are going on to the multiplication and division. You'll be able to graph the solution set of an inequality on a number line using multiplication and division. Now, there is a big difference. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by the same positive number, the inequality remains the same direction for the inequality to be true. Now, this is the kicker part right here. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by the same negative number, you need to reverse the direction of the inequality for the inequality to be true. So, if we're looking at this problem right here, negative 5y is less than or equal to negative 10. To undo multiplication, you're going to divide both sides by a negative, so the number with the variable is negative. If you notice, you started with a negative 10, you're ending up with a positive 2. Because the sign of your problem is changing, you have to flip the inequality. So negative 10 divided by negative 5 is 2, so we flip the inequality, the negative, or the less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. Okay? And then you just graph it like we've been doing the last couple of days. All right, so let's go down to this one right here. It says negative 1/2 p is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so this is a basic one-step equation. To undo multiplication, we divide, but we don't divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. And our reciprocal of negative 1/2 is negative 2 over 1. Now, since the number we're multiplying or dividing by is negative, we need to flip the symbol. So instead of greater than or equal to, we're going to have less than or equal to. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So we started with a positive 3. We're ending up with a negative 6, which is why we flipped it. So all right, so since it's less than or equal to, we're going to have a closed circle. And since it's less than, you're going to shade to the left. Okay? Right, so negative 4/10 x is greater than 1 6/10. So again, to undo multiplication, we're going to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 4/10. Okay, since we're multiplying or dividing by a negative, we need to flip the sign. So you're going to get x instead of greater than is less than, and then 1.6 divided by 0.4 is just going to be 4. So x is less than 4. So we're going to have a closed circle, or excuse me, an open circle at 4, and since it's less than, you're going to shade to the left. Okay, so here now we have a two-step equation. Same rules apply. You need to get rid of the negative 7, so you're going to add 7 to both sides. So you're going to get 3a is greater than 26 plus 7 is 33. To undo multiplication, you're going to divide both sides by 3. Now, since the number in front of the variable is positive, we are not flipping the sign on this one, and we just get a is greater than 11. You only do that flipping when the number in front of the variable is negative. Okay, so that's going to be an open circle at 11, and since it's greater than, we're going to shade to the right. Okay, so you guys go ahead and try A and B. Stop there after those and check them, and then I will go and do C with you because that one has variables on both sides. So I'm going to turn it off so you can try them on your own. Okay, so for letter A and B, for the first one, you just subtract 1 from both sides. 1 and 3/5 minus 1 is just 3/5. So we get 4/5 x is greater than 3/5. We need to undo multiplication with division, but we don't divide fractions. We multiply by the reciprocal. So we multiply both sides by 5/4. Now, since the 5/4 is positive, we're not changing any sign. So our answer is just x is greater than 3/4. And then I showed that on the number line, open circle at 3/4 shaded to the right. Now for B, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. 21 minus 9 is 12, so I get negative 2/10 a is greater than or equal to 12. To undo the multiplication, we divide both sides by negative 2/10. Since we're dividing or multiplying by a negative, we now need to flip the sign. 12 divided by 2/10 is 60, so we get a is less than or equal to 60, not greater than or equal to 60. Okay, so let's do letter C together. All right, so we have variables on both sides. So I have a negative 2a and a negative a. So I'm going to add 2a to both sides. So that's going to give me 3 is less than negative 7 plus a, because a negative 1 plus 2 is an a. Okay, so then we're going to add 7 to both sides. We're going to get a is less than 10. Now, in order to graph it, we need the a first, so that means a is greater than 10. 10 is less than a is greater than 10, because the sign is open to the a. Okay, so now if we graph that, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, we're going to have an open circle at 10, and since it's greater than, we're going to shade to the right. Okay, so you can go ahead and try D on your own. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times negative x is negative 2x is less than or equal to 8. Subtract 6 from both sides, and we get negative 2x is less than or equal to 2. Undo multiplication with division. We need to divide both sides by negative 2. Since we're multiplying or dividing an inequality by a negative, we have to flip the sign. So instead of less than or equal to, we change it to greater than or equal to. And 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. So that's a closed circle at negative 1, shaded to the right. Okay, and that's it. So have a good night, and see you tomorrow.